You're listening to The Luxury Item, the podcast on the business of luxury and the people and companies that are shaping the future of the luxury industry. Here's your host, Scott Kerr.
Italian shoemaking has long been revered for its unparalleled craftsmanship, artistry, and quality. The intricate techniques and attention to detail involved in crafting Italian shoes have earned them a reputation as the epitome of luxury footwear. Nearly a half-century old, Santoni is among the leading Italian handcrafted luxury footwear brands. Founded in 1975 by Andrea and Rosa Santoni in the Marche region of Italy, they began the business with 4 shoemakers in the garage of the family home. Today, Santoni is a global player present in 67 countries with over 750 employees and 19 physical monobrand stores. Every shoe is entirely crafted and shipped from its headquarters in the town of Corridonia. The brand's legacy is currently being led by Andrea's son, Giuseppe Santoni, who is my guest on The Luxury Item. Giuseppe Santoni is chairman and executive president of Santoni. He became CEO of the shoemaking house in 1990 when he was just 21 years old, and has been leading the company with a vision of a global, innovative, and multifaceted brand that honors the fundamental value of authenticity. Welcome to The Luxury Item, Giuseppe.
Thank you very much for having me today, Scott. It's really a pleasure.
So, you grew up in the business. Your parents started in 1975 when you were a young child. The small workshop was in Corridonia, the heart of the Marche shoemaking district in Italy, and where the Santoni factory that makes every shoe by hand is located. Your father, Andrea, had already honed his craft as a shoemaker for 2 decades before even opening his own workshop. Was he always thinking about venturing out on his own, or was he generally content in providing a respectable living for his family working for another shoemaker?
I come, from a family business. My father, Andrea, was a man of great vision and ambition. And while he was already skilled in content working for others, because he was the chief production manager for a very famous shoe company in our areas in the 70s. But his dream was of creating something unique and something that he can manage by his own with a quality level that at the moment was not in the market. So he believed that the power of craftsmanship and the potential to elevate the design and the craft in a higher level will bring a new step into the shoes industry. So he was starting from a very small workshop, really in our house. We worked in the garage of our house for about 3 years. Mm-hmm. And he started with my mother and a few other people making this small production. But really for him was a big dream, was something that create a legacy and pushing the boundaries of what he could achieve in shoemaking. So try to go higher in the level of product that was at the moment on the market.
And at the time he launched his business, I would imagine most of the luxury European shoemakers were either the fashion companies or very traditional shoemakers. Where did your father see the opportunity to build a business and sort of carve out a brand name for himself?
My father saw a unique opportunity to blend traditional craftsmanship with innovative techniques and superior material, as well as unique and innovative design. So he started with what really was his vision and his desire to create something really unique, kind of object of desire. I listened these expressions since I was a child. I said, we don't make shoes, we make object of desire. And this is something that also is still true today in Santoni. We try to really create object that is not available on the market. And our customers at the time, even if they don't know the brand, they don't know Santoni, they immediately understand that was something really unique and special. And in fact, it's almost incredible to believe that from Corridonia, a small village in Marche, where only 8,000 people lives, my father started to sell shoes in US. So the first and biggest market was the United States market from Corridonia. So really the consumer, the trader, they immediately understand the specialty and the uniqueness of Santoni.
Well, who was the customer base early on?
At that time in the US, of course, there were not a developed retail business, and even department stores at the stage, they were not so beautiful as they are today. So he started with the kind of distributor that he has some retailer where to sell the product. And I remember since the 70s, my father used to go in US to do trunk shows and events in order to promote and show the product and show how he makes the product.
So, what was your father's shoes becoming renowned for? Was it in the craftsmanship, materials, techniques, coloring, or its distinct design, or was it something else, or everything?
At the beginning was definitely the unique proportion of the legs, because the elegance of the Santoni shoes is since day one a distinguished element. But then we combine together with the unique and the original proportion and design, we combine perfectly made production, unbelievable comfortable fitting. So all elements that all together make the product very special and very unique.
Can you share some of your earliest memories related to the company as a young child? How much of the time did you spend hanging out at the workshop watching the artisans at work?
Basically, at the beginning, the factory was really my playground. We live upstairs, and in the where it used to be the garage, my mother started to stitch uppers together with my father. So for me, the factory was the playground. And since I was a child, I always see my parents working. And really, my father has always been my mentor and my example. And really, in life, I never think to do anything else than my father's job. I never dreamed to become soccer player or policeman or fireman. You know, I always believed that one day I would have been next to him and work in the factory, which is basically what I've done, because since I was a teenager, I grew up in the factory, and you know, I go to school in the morning and I go to work in the afternoon, but not because my father asked me to do it, because I want to go, I want to do it, I want to grow,
Right.
I want to learn, and really the factory was really the place where I grew up. Even in summer vacation, I remember my friends go on the beach. I stay in the factory and I work. And again, not because my father obliged me to do, because I want to do it. And that's why I was able to prepare myself and to be skilled to really make shoes by myself. I know how to make shoes myself. I worked in production since I was 25, 28. So I know how to make shoes. Of course, after my way was different. I need to develop the business. I need to travel. I need to
Yeah.
go around. I need to take care of different activities. But still today, the fact that I have a very high skills in technical expertise, in last making, in the fitting, in the proportion, in the design, makes sure that all the shoes they present to me, they know that needs to be perfect. Otherwise, I will say something. So really, I elevate the level of professionality of the factory thanks to the fact that I'm a shoe expert. I'm a professional shoe man.
So, when you took over the helm of the company at around 21 years old, did he give you any particular advice?
At that stage, you know, the company moved in 1990. We moved from basically having the factory below the house in a bigger factory in the business area of our village. So really was a big step. We built the first building was 15,000 square foot, so it was a real factory with about 50 people. And my father create a new incorporation and give me the position of the CEO. Of course, at 21, I was a very not expert company manager, and that's why I always related to my father before to take any decision and before, of course, to take any actions. But he gave me the position to give me the responsibility, to give me really the possibility to learn and to grow and to be next to the real business. So I'm very thankful to my family for the fact that they give me the opportunities, because it's not very common that fathers give the company management to the son. Is not usual. Is not common, definitely.
Did you have any specific strategic priorities when you took over? I know you had lots of ideas. Did you have any right from the beginning? Did you have any certain priorities that you wanted to focus on?
At that time, our limit, if I can say, was that we only work with one market, the United States market. And so we said we need to open up the company and open up the market. So at that stage, I started to develop the European market. Of course, the Italian market was more easy because it was a local market, but I started to travel to develop the European market. And I remember in 1990, I did my first trip in Asia. So I still remember, I did a 3 weeks trip to Asia. I remember Japan, Korea, Taiwan, Singapore, Thailand, Indonesia, Hong Kong, and then I also traveled to China one day. So I was there to see new market opportunities, to meet and to show our collection to local players, local partners that potentially were or could be interested in Santoni. And I remember I repeat this twice a year for each season. And those travel for me was it's really a very interesting, has been an unbelievable lesson, an unbelievable experience in order to see new markets. And little by little, we start and we open the Asian market as Japan, as Hong Kong, and then Singapore. So this brings to the brand also the possibility to see new markets, to see new opportunities, and to open new business.
So fast forward to today, 2024, and quite a lot has changed since you took over the reins of the company. You're now a global player, present in 67 countries with over 750 employees and 19 physical monobrand stores. You've been driving ahead with a major international expansion strategy over the last few years. Where do you continue to expand your footprint?
We continue to expand in emerging markets, particularly in Asia and Middle East, with a growing appreciation for luxury craftsmanship. So monobrand stores and retail model is really our priority. At the moment, our business model is 70-30. So 70% is still wholesale and 30% is direct to consumer. So we need to go from 30 to 40% direct to consumer. We would like to enlarge our retail stores. We would like to enlarge our online business. So the challenge is always there. I mean, we need to, of course, make the ladies business bigger. At the moment, ladies is only around 30%, and we see potential to bring the ladies business up to 50 with the ladies, with the men. So it's a course that we need to follow. It's a course that we need to work to achieve.
So do you see the monobrand stores playing a bigger role in telling your story to consumers?
Absolutely. I mean, having monobrands in some markets is something that you cannot avoid. Meaning, like in Asia, there is no the multi-brand channels. So in Asia, you can only develop if you have retail stores. You can only develop if you have your own boutique, your own monobrand, where you can really display the brand, give the brand experience to the final consumer, and make sure that the consumers will appreciate the DNA and the values of the brand. Then, of course, they can buy shoes in different stores or online, but they need to have a visible and tangible example of what is the Santoni word, which are the Santoni value and which is the Santoni concept.
You've talked in the past about Santoni's brand philosophy and values as the foundations of what you've built and nurtured since its inception. What are those philosophies, and how has it helped you stay relevant through economic downturns or rapidly evolving business landscapes or in shifting tastes?
Our brand philosophy is rooted in uncompromising quality, timeless elegance, and are committed to sustainability. So these three values are helping us to remain resilient through economic downturns and adapt to an evolving business landscape. By staying true to our core principle and continuously innovation, we have maintained our relevance and appeal in a market where tastes and trends are constantly shifting.
So in most people's minds, Santoni is seen as a men's shoe brand. You didn't introduce a women's line of footwear until later on. The women's line now represents about, correct me if I'm wrong, but the women's line now represents about 1/3 of your total revenue, a big jump from, I think it was 15% a few years ago. And you expanded your women's leather goods collection and making a serious play in the handbag business with the introduction of the Pluto bag. You seem to have strong ambitions in growing the women's category, as you just mentioned before. What's the big plan?
Expanding our women's categories is a strategic priority for me. We aim to offer comprehensive range of luxury products that cater to the sophisticated taste of our female consumer. And we need to, of course, accomplish to the request and to the attendance of our ladies consumer as we were able to do with our male consumer. So this is the biggest challenge for me. And the Pluto bag is just the beginning. We plan to introduce more innovative design and expand our presence in women's fashion by leveraging our expertise in quality and comfort while providing absolutely fashionable style that appeal to the female discerning style.
So did that shift moving over to stressing, or increasing your women's business, did that happen because men were shopping differently than women and you just saw the business opportunity?
I mean, what we see is that, if I tell you this is a very funny story, we start to make shoes because I don't have shoes for my wife. And I say, what, I would like to start to make shoes. I would love to see my wife in Santoni shoes. And this is how it started. So I start to make a research to see from beautiful last and beautiful design. And this is how it started. We started basically by as a joke, but it in reality has become a business. And as I told you today, is about 30%, but our aim is to go to 50-50.
So what is the profile of a typical Santoni customer? Why do they come to your brand specifically?
A typical Santoni customer is someone who values quality and timeless style. They come to our brand because they appreciate the artistry and the dedication that goes into each pair of shoes. We have indeed focused on catering the world wealthiest shoppers who continue to seek out luxury products despite macroeconomic challenge. And I think this strategy has helped us to maintain steady growth and resilience in a very fluctuating market. Our target consumer is a target consumer that does not have a big influence with economic conditions because they still want to live in a high level. They still can afford to do it, and they don't renounce to look and be elegant, to look pretty and feel good. But also our shoes is really, as I said, an object of desire and something that makes you feel better when you wear it. So it's kind of it's a present that you do to yourself to buy something really special and unique, like luxury. Luxury is something that luxury, I think, is something totally unnecessary that without our quality of life is lower. So we need luxury for our quality of life. We need beauty.
We need beauty, right? Italian manufacturing is a pillar of the luxury industry supply chain. Italy contributes more than 40% of luxury goods production, and it's a true competitive advantage for them. However, young people, particularly affluent Gen Z, who are reshaping the luxury world, might not be connecting with the Made in Italy brand and what it means. these are the future Santoni customers. Is this something that you think about?
Absolutely. For us, connected with the Generation Z is crucial for the future of our industry and in general of the Italian luxury industries. But what we need to do is we need to create a connection, and we need to learn how to communicate the value and the heritage of the Made in Italy. Me, as a member of Alta Gamma and as a real ambassador of the Italian Made in Italy and craftsmanship, this is my duty, I believe, and this is what we need to do. So my duty is to create a link between what we do, how we do, and make sure that the young generation will understand and appreciate all the heart and the beauty there is behind a pair of shoes. So our artisan and our maestro artigiano and our grand maestro artigiano and our artists, because in our company we also have artists, they need to be the most important person in this communication project. And that's why we are now working on a communication project where the artisan and the maestro and the artist of the company will be at the center of the communications.
You know, once the biggest footwear category for brands and retailers, the sneaker trend seems to be running out of steam. Loafers and dress shoes have been making a comeback. Both men and women's dress footwear have shown strong growth in the past couple of years, and their presence in collections are decreasing. Social events have come back onto the calendar, and they're in full swing, and people have returned to work. Has this shift impacted your assortment and pricing strategies?
Definitely the assortment. I mean, yes, after the COVID, and which has had a big and enormous impact on our lifestyle. We went back to elegant shoes, formal, and even party shoes and things like this. But still, I would say our categories for men's is 1/3, 1/3, 1/3. We got three categories basically, which is formal, classic formal shoes, but they are not so formal. They are daily shoes in leather sole, which are elegant. They are smart. They are absolutely very well designed, and again, they represent an object of desire for very sophisticated and elegant person. Then we got rubber sole shoes, which is a shoes that has a casual style, more informal, less formal. You can wear with a suit, but also you can wear with the white pants or with the khaki pants or with jeans. And then we got the sneakers, which is another categories for another moment of our life. And I look at myself as a typical Santoni consumer, and I have all the three categories in my closet because sometimes I need a sneaker on the weekend. I need a trainer. I need a nice shoes to walk when I want to walk. I need shoes for the beach. I need the shoes for the mountain. But then maybe I want to be like Friday. I want to be casual and I want to wear a tie, and maybe I just wear a comfortable jacket and pants, and maybe I use my rubber sole moccasins, which is more casual. Or in the winter, maybe a chukka boot with rubber sole in suede, which is less formal. And then, of course, during the week and for my events, my party, I like to be formal and elegant. So I can use product. I don't believe people use one single pair of shoes for the whole week. I mean, of course, there are people like this, but this is not really our customers. Our customers have a different outfit for different occasions, and they can be very sophisticated, but also very casual. So we try to create object of desire for each opportunities, and we love to create something which is new, innovative, and absolutely with a special characteristic. For instance, now we launched it in June, but it's going to be a big launch in September of our new shoes called Easy. Easy is a formal-looking shoes, like a classic lace-up classic moccasin with an unbelievable comfortable sole, which looks like leather sole, but in reality, is rubber, but it's not common rubber. It's called EVA. It's a special rubber with air inside. So it's a classic shoes feeling like a super soft and comfortable sneakers, but looks like a formal shoe. So this is really an innovation. And it's a shoe that only weighs 295 grams, which is almost half of the weight of a normal leather sole shoes. So it's a shoes that looks like a super formal, elegant shoes, but in reality is very soft and very light. And you can walk, and almost I would say you can run with the shoes, because it's the quality of the rubber sole is the same quality of trainer shoes. So something really unique and innovative. So this is Santoni. Santoni always tried to experience new routes, new product, and new object of desire for the final consumer.
And the role of footwear within attire has greatly changed from its past role of an accessory that balanced well with a person's wardrobe to a critical cornerstone of an individual's style and reflecting broader cultural trends. What are some of the key trends that you've been observing these days that are driving the evolution of the footwear market?
Footwear is a key element of personal style and cultural expression. And personally, when I look at the man, I always look the watch, the shoes, and maybe the accessories. Mm-hmm. So some key trends we see are growing as a growing demand for a sustainable and ethically produced shoes. So also in this case, we try to create product using recycled material or using less impact material to the environment in order to create something which is always very elegant and very chic, but trying to accomplish also the preference of customization and personalization of the product. So consumers are really looking for unique pieces that reflect their individuality and values, and we can continue to adapt our creativity to meet this evolving demand.
Santoni is renowned for upholding the traditional craftsmanship process. Despite the craze for handmade products, Italian craftsmanship is in trouble, and many of its specialties are at risk of being forgotten due to a lack of new talent. Has Santoni been facing this challenge, and how are you attempting to curb this trend?
I mean, we faced this situation basically 20 years ago, and since then we start to have our own internal training program with young person, and but for us, preserving traditional craftsmanship is a core commitment. So we invest in training programs such as our 4-week Accademia dell'Eccellenza to pass down the traditions to our savoir-faire artigiano, maestro, and grand maestro. We also collaborate with schools and institutions to promote artisanal skills, develop new materials, and create opportunities for young people to learn and grow within our company. By fostering a culture of passion for craftsmanship and quality, we aim to see that these valuable skills are passed down to the next generation.
You've done some interesting collaborations over the years with Swiss watchmaker IWC Schaffhausen on Santoni leather watch straps and a Santoni AMG sneakers collection for Mercedes, also with Rubelli, the Venetian fabrics company. Do you see alliances, whether through strategic collaborations or joint ventures or co-creation, as instrumental in delivering long-term growth and competitiveness?
I think this is key, and collaboration for sure allow us to explore new creative ideas, to reach different target consumers, and enhance our brand visibility. So by partnering with like-minded brands like Santoni that shares the same value, the same vision, the same target consumer, can create a link between our customer, our product, and their product, in order to offer to the same consumer stories to tell, stories to experience and expand and strengthen in our market position. So I believe this is very key for Santoni.
And Santoni published its first sustainability report in 2021. You've said in the past that sustainability has been a tool for defining your company's strategy. Can you talk about Santoni's sustainability strategy and some of the efforts as far as materials, packaging, supply chain, et cetera?
Sustainability for us is key pillar of the strategy, as I said before, and we are committed in using eco-friendly materials since over 20 years. We use vegetable tanned leather since almost 20 years. We use a lot of recycled components. All our packaging is designed to minimize the environment and is produced with the recycled paper and recycled cotton, the shoe bags. So we really always paid big attention. Also in our production, we reduce the impact of chemical products, of glue, chemical glue, using water-based colors and water-based glue. Also, since 2010, we are producing electric energy with the solar panel. So at the moment, our company, our headquarters is about 300,000 square foot, and which is a huge surface. And on the roof of all our buildings, we got solar panel. So at the moment in our company, we can produce about 2 megawatt of energy with the sun. And at the moment, our need is less than 3 megawatt. This means that 66% of the energy of the company need, including production, come from the sun. And I think this is a great result. I mean, this is a great initiative that we did. And we did this over 16 years ago in 2008. So I'm very proud to have been so vision at the time to do this. But also, we are now trying to go through a sustainable process, creating a collaboration with other companies in the area, which is like our supplier, where we are studying program to set up different industries, and it's about making meaningful difference and setting an example for the total shoe industries.
Last year, you made a leadership change at the top. For the first time in the company's history, you recruited a CEO outside of the founding family. You stepped back from the position of CEO to take on the role of chairman and executive president, and you hired an experienced luxury industry executive, Geraldo Paletto, the former chief executive of Diesel and other well-known brands, to take over as CEO of Santoni. Why did you feel it was the right time to bring in a new CEO, and was it a difficult decision for you to go outside the family?
I think there is never the right time to take a decision. There is just the right decision to be taken. So bringing a new CEO was strategic for me to infuse fresh perspective and expertise into the company. We have a plan to grow. We have a plan to create a different Santoni and a bigger Santoni. And it was not an easy decision for me to go outside the family, but it was the right and necessary decision to continue the growth and the innovation. Geraldo, of course, has been a consultant for Santoni, so he knew Santoni. I know Geraldo, but also he's a very skilled and professional person, and he brings wealth of experience and a deep understanding of the luxury market. And our collaborative approach will help drive the company forward, blending tradition with innovation. And also, January 2024, my son joined the company And I have a brother working with my son to be kind of mentor for my son, and in order to grow and to be able to enter into the luxury business.
That's great. You must be so proud.
I am. Thank you very much.
So, Giuseppe, my final question is the luxury item question, which I ask all my guests. So if you were stranded on a deserted island and you could only have one single luxury item with you, what would that luxury item be? It can't be any form of air or water transportation to get you off that island, or anything that requires mobile service so you can call somebody to get you off that island. It's just you on this deserted island with maybe palm trees, lots of sand, lots of ocean, maybe a sea urchin floating up. But what would that one single luxury item you would like to have with you?
You know, me, I'm a very creative person. I'm a very energy person, and I always have a lot of ideas, and I always have a lot of things. And things that I need is maybe a good pen to take notes of all my dream and all my project and all my desire, in order to write down all the ideas. In the meantime, I will go back. Of course, I cannot ask for a phone or for so. I think a pen would be a good element, a good object to bring.
I like that. That's a great idea. And if you happen to find a bottle, you could put those ideas in the bottle and hope someone will find it, continue and take those ideas and make it happen. Giuseppe Santoni, Chairman and Executive President of Santoni, thank you so much for joining me on The Luxury Item.
Thank you very much, Scott, for having me, and I hope to see you very soon.
That's it for this episode of the Luxury Item Podcast. Thank you so much for listening. If you found this useful and entertaining, I would be really grateful if you can share it with a friend or colleague. I would love it if you subscribe so you never miss an episode. And while you're there, be sure to rate and review us on Apple Podcasts. It really helps other listeners find us. The Luxury Item Podcast is a production of Silvertone Consulting. I'm your host, Scott Kerr. Until next time.